Welcome back into the Cowboys Report for the second time today. I am Tom Downey. This version of the Cowboys Report is made possible by Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping on all their top-of-the-line men's grooming products when you use promo code COWBOYS over at manscaped.com. The CeeDee Lamb injury, the lead of today's story. Michael Gelkin, Dallas Morning News, kind of breaking it. Foot injury for Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. He is walking and not wearing a protective boot. He then followed up with this, maybe after some Cowboys members like, hey, clarify a little bit there. Foot issue is not considered serious for Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Not structural. Person familiar with issue said. The term injury may even be too strong. No long-term concern. Despite that issue or injury, whichever buzzword we want to use, he is going to miss today's joint practice against the Los Angeles Chargers, currently ongoing at this moment. It's the foot issue, injury. Cowboys say, no concern, everything's fine. And I will say, when I first read the Gelkin tweet, I didn't see the word not in there, and I read it as he is wearing a protective boot, and I got very concerned. But the fact that he's not wearing it, I do think is a very good sign for him and whatever foot problem he has. I will make this note. You need him out there on that football field. Lamb is the only proven, reliable, healthy wide receiver on this Cowboys team at the moment. The expectation from everybody has been breakout season for Lamb. Gallup's going to miss at least one game, probably more like 2, 3, or hopefully not, but even 4. The Cowboys have been giving Dennis Houston, Noah Brown, a lot of run with some of the key players. You're not going to see Noah Brown, I would assume. Maybe that'll change this week, but he didn't play last week because that's where he is on the depth chart right now. On the bright side, even though against the joint practice, I'll let you in on a secret, the Chargers defense is going to win today because you don't have Gallup, you don't have Lamb. Means more reps for young guys that should not be going up against, Chris Harris and Derwin James, etc. Not Chris Harris, J.C. Jackson, my bad. Jalen Tolbert will get some more reps up and down first game against the Denver Broncos in the preseason. Drew some PIs, also had 2 drops. Simi Fehoko had the lone touchdown catch against Denver. More chances for him on the outside. You might see some more TJ Vasher as well in terms of being able to make a big impact from that perspective. Those young guys should benefit from Lamb missing today's practice. But make no mistake, you can't afford to not have CeeDee Lamb out there in the games that actually matter. I know Dennis Houston's getting reps with the ones. I am not panicking right now over CeeDee Lamb. At this current moment, I think things are fine from that perspective. I wouldn't have to be too concerned about it with where things currently sit. But I do want to hear from you guys. What is your panic level at the current moment over CeeDee Lamb? 1 to 100. 1 on the low end, 100 on the high end. For me, it's like a 6.9. Jokes only somewhat intended there. It is on the lower end. I don't think this is serious at all. The Cowboys told us Tyron Smith's ankle issue was fine. He was back out there, is back out there today at the joint practice. I would not be worried about Lamb because he's not wearing a boot. And if you closely follow NFL teams and injuries, they'll put you in a boot for anything. And they didn't put Lamb in a boot at all. But I will make this, and this is how we're going to spend the vast majority of the remaining show. If you got concerned, I think it's because, oh my God, you have nobody behind CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys losing CeeDee Lamb to a significant injury would be an absolute disaster. It is one of the worst non-Dak Prescott, non-Micah Parsons injuries at this team. From a most important player perspective, if you lose Lamb, week 1, you're going to start Jalen Tolbert, Noah Brown, and Dennis Houston. So that's a bottom tier. In fact, it is the worst wide receiving core in the NFL. You are banking heavily on Lamb being the next man up. If you lose him, you got to go find somebody else at receiver overnight because you don't have the proven talent to make it work. It's one thing to say, like, yeah, Fehoko, Brown, Vasher, Houston, those guys could be great as receiver 4 for us. Now they're suddenly like receiver 2? It's a whole different conversation. To be clear, the Cowboys cannot afford to lose CeeDee Lamb. Now, speaking of CeeDee Lamb, have you seen these nuts, by the way? Nice and smooth for me. Same for producer Jeremy, I'm told by his girl. Manscaped.com I had to clarify, Jeremy. Can't be getting too weird on here. Manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys. Gets you 20% off and free shipping on everything, including the perfect package, the Lawnmower 4.0, some ball toner, ball conditioner as well, and the most comfortable boxers known to mankind. Don't just ask me, you can ask my wife on that one. Manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys, 20% off and free shipping on all their top-of-the-line men's grooming products. As always, folks, links in the comments section and in the description. Back to some more conversation on, things could get bad and dicey in Dallas if Lamb misses time. Gallup's going to be out. Washington is going to miss the first part of the season. The Cowboys are not in a position from a wide receiver core perspective to go, it's fine if we lose CeeDee Lamb. We'll be okay. They're not. Jalen Tolbert has not really truly broken out yet the way I'm hoping he can, and hopefully this next preseason game we can blame some quarterback play as well, but you're making on a career backup Noah Brown, a 5th-round pick, and some UDFAs. If we're being objective and honest about the wide receiver room, even if you think it's okay right now because of the presence of Lamb, God forbid you lose him, knock on wood, hope it never happens, we're talking 2018 levels of just garbage wide receiver core. So with that in mind, we're going to look at some free agency options and some trade options the Cowboys could still go out and pursue just in case. But do you think the Cowboys need to add another wide receiver? Why for yes and for no? Sound off for me in the comments section. We won't spend too much time on these. We'll kind of go one pro, one con. Hilton could be a very reliable receiver for you if he's healthy. The common thread on this list we're about to get to, right? Age or injury overall. T.Y. Hilton has age and injury red flags. Odell Beckham would be long signed if he were healthy. He's not. He does not help you in the immediate aftermath of an injury right now. But if the Cowboys get to November-ish and receivers still, Tolbert's not there yet. We got another injury. We need one more guy. They should absolutely be in the mix for OBJ. But right now, doesn't fix your issues. Demarcus Robinson, who we spent some more time on earlier today as on our first video, more on that in a second. He's a free agent. Kind of think he's more of a wide receiver 4, more proven than your other guys, so God forbid Lamb misses time. He's probably in my top couple of names to consider. Deshaun Jackson fills the role of speedy vertical threat, but he's also kind of old and a bit of a head case, and I don't really know, despite being an elite Cowboy killer, if he's the guy you want to go pursue. Emmanuel Sanders is someone I'd wanted in Dallas many years ago. I thought he'd been a great Dak Prescott player. He is getting older. There are some knee injury concerns, but a good name to consider. Cole Beasley works if you want a pure slot, and I think you'll see CeeDee Lamb get slot reps this year, which you should if you're the Dallas Cowboys. I also just wonder if that's going to be a good enough piece for you in the end. 2 more names coming, as you can tell, but we mentioned Demarcus Robinson. We mentioned Brett Hundley on the earlier Cowboys Report video today. If your notifications are set to all, then I'm sure you didn't miss it. If they're not, maybe you did. Thumbnail of the video looks like that. It's in the comment section and the description, the link to it. So once you're done watching this video, go check out that one and make sure you're subscribed to us here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. Will Fuller remains my number one. If you're going to sign a receiver, make it this guy. I simply think that Fuller brings the speed that you don't really have on the 53-man roster as a reliable vertical threat at this point. I would like to add Will Fuller. And Eagles legend, which makes him a bum. Kidding. Kind of, producer Jeremy. Travis Fulgham, who had that one fun run for Philadelphia and has done nothing since then. He was recently cut by the Denver Broncos. Those were the free agents. Let's talk trade. You want an outside vertical threat who is available, will cost you $2.54 million. That's Darius Slayton. Doesn't fill your need for a number 1 or 2, and even not really a 3, but he brings you some speed and a different type of player. Laviska Shenault is someone I'm not nearly as in love with as I was at Colorado. The issues that caused him to drop to the second round, being able to separate, being quick, beyond his impressive after-catch ability, Kind of think he's an only underneath guy at this point. Got a scheme for him a little bit. And, oh, by the way, a lot of drops last year. Many of you have asked about Preston Williams. Which is, sure, you can add Preston Williams. This falls into the, hey, you've got another wide receiver 4. Which, like, okay. But again, you have receiver 4s. You have receiver 5s. What you don't have right now is a proven 3, a healthy 2, and God forbid Lamb goes down, a number 1. 2 Bucs receivers here. Jalen Darr, new producer Chugs absolutely loves. He'd be fun. I think he makes the Bucs. I'm not so sure, though, on Tyler Johnson. Now, Johnson was a former Minnesota product, had a pretty successful college career, didn't test that well, fell in the draft. He might be available. But in the end, if you really want to make sure you fix the wide receiver room, at least short term, Tyler Lockett would be the guy to call. I doubt he's available right now. Seattle harbors dreams of not being terrible this year, so I don't think they dump Lockett quite so quickly. But he'd be a good name if you did need a receiver this year. I want you guys to get in the comment section for me and name a wide receiver who you want to add. Some more injury notes, kind of quick on that front coming out of today's joint practice. But first, sound off with a receiver you guys want to add. If there is one, none is a valid answer as well. We'll go quick here on Jayron Kearse. We mentioned him in the earlier video. As expected here, held out again. It's a minor back injury. I wouldn't worry too much about Jayron Kearse. I would like to, around this time next week, see and hear that Kearse is back at practice for the Dallas Cowboys, just like these 3 guys are. Anthony Barr, Tyron Smith, and Will Grier are all back at practice for the Cowboys. Barr's off the PUP list. He's getting some joint practice run. Tyron Smith out there as well, and Will Grier also cleared to go. We'll see if he can get some splash plays showing in the preseason game against the same Chargers. That is the end of today's video. If you were panicking about CeeDee Lamb, maybe not so much anymore. Plus, I mean, the gold visor look is absolutely fire. If you made it to the end, it makes it a real one. So spam real one for me in the comment section.